Supersiders presents episode number 6. Here we go.
All right, Douglas, you're starting to use the drones basically every single day.
Oh my gosh.
How's it going?
It's absolutely phenomenal. Have you ever had a good dream and you woke up and you were sad that it was a dream?
Not always.
I've done it a few times. First time was when I had a Super Nintendo. I woke up and I realized I didn't have one, and it just bummed me out. I was a young kid, right? And I wanted to go back to sleep so bad. To me, this is a dream where I'm not able to wake up. It's absolutely everything I've ever wanted in this industry. It's saving time. It's saving money. It's saving damage to the roof because I don't have to crawl around and give excessive foot traffic. And more than anything, it's making it clear cut. So when I have to dispute with said insurance company or even a homeowner that's trying to kind of say to me, Douglas, I don't think it's damaged. I don't see any holes. I don't see any leaks. And then I show them on the report, this artificial intelligence technology is showing me all these different areas that are damaged at a 93 or 95% rate, of accuracy. That's just totally exciting if you can't see it on my face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I haven't done a ton of them myself, but I've seen you, seen Yark, and we actually have Chad coming on board to help just make sure we're getting these reports out to everyone because there's a lot of people requesting them.
Yeah, to process the report.
Exactly, because now we can really get it in depth of showing exactly all over the place where the photo is taken for a GPS standpoint, as well as what you're looking at on the roof. Each little dot, each little circle, or hail hit, wind damage, all that stuff. And it's actually kind of exciting to see done because you get to see all the stuff that I normally don't get to see on the back end.
And for a homeowner, I went through some of the reports last night. I did 3 of them. It was so fun because the first page, it has the picture of their house, which I just say to them, this kind of proves the report is your roof, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not showing somebody else's damage. And then going through it, it has date stamped. It has GPS location. Mm-hmm. So now if and when we have to give this information to a third party, insurance company, whoever, yep. We're not just coming up with some random sketchy report saying we found something online that looks cool. No, it's through imaging, yep. IMG, yep. And they're one of the leaders in the industry.
Yeah, it's actually I don't know if you even know this, it's the same person who made Xactimate. Is the
That's
one who
right.
made. Yep.
I forgot
and Xactimate,
that.
for those who don't know what that is, that's the main estimating software when it comes to insurance and stuff like that for finding the fair market value is how they basically terminize it.
The gatekeeper on how much it costs.
I think it's like 23 out of the top 25 insurance companies use it. Almost every single contractor that I know uses it. It makes it a lot easier, especially for insurance companies or contractors that do work in multiple states, multiple cities, all that stuff, because then they don't need to go back and forth. Okay, what's the labor rate going for in Minnesota, Minneapolis area, when most of their stuff is in Denver or Oklahoma or something like that. And when it comes to insurance, they have it across the entire country. Saves them a bunch of time.
Let's take a quick moment just to elaborate on that. I do a lot of these talks in the home, and I see so many eyes glaze back in their head when I'm talking about this, and it just seems like some weird word. So let's do it again. Xactimates with an X.
Yep.
And what that is, in my interpretation, is a fair estimating software baseline that says we're not giving too much, we're not undercutting based on the date mm-hmm. and the zip code. Like you said, California, Texas, Minnesota, we're all different. New York for the same date.
Yep, so depending on where you're at, material price is going to be different. Material price across the country is pretty comparable. But the thing that really swings around back and forth is the labor cost.
Yes.
Minnesota, where there's a lot of demand for work because of storms, stuff like that, demand drives higher prices. So labor cost is more because they know, hey, this contractor is going to pay it because they need to do the work. So places like that, Xactimate accounts for all of that. What they basically say is it's a median. You get you get some outliers on the lows, you get some outliers on the highs, but the mass majority is going to be right in this range, and right in the middle here is where Xactimate is coming up with their pricing. It's supposed to be right in the middle of how much it would cost you on average to have your roof replaced, have your siding replaced. They have so much stuff interior and stuff like
Well,
that.
that's
too.
a good point now. So now anything in life, it's great as long as it's done right.
Right.
Technology is phenomenal as long as it works. So this is the one point I want to bring up. Xactimate basically decides every line that we're putting in there to say, okay, if there's additional work to be done, we want to put it in there. And if there's not that additional work to be done, we don't want to pay for it. We want to omit it. But what I've learned, and tell me if you're on the same page about this, is they find a way to omit the things that are required and just kind of dummy it down, if you will, and give 5 or 6 lines of a repair that really deserved 12 or 13.
Yep. A good example is vinyl siding. Vinyl siding includes J-channel, corner post, and the siding, nails, stuff
All
like
the trim
that.
it locks
Right.
into, yep.
That kind of stuff. But it doesn't include stuff like silicone to go around any openings, flashing tape, drip cap.
Which are all part of the
Which-
system.
If you're just doing a wall, just a blank wall, why would it include those things? Because
There might not be any windows or openings
why
or
would you
penetrations.
start accounting for things that aren't there? So that's where you then have to, oftentimes for insurance companies, add those in and show them, yes, we have to do drip cap. Yes, we have to do silicone and these flashing tapes. If we don't comply with building code.
And then we're doing a malicious repair, and they can pull our license.
Yeah.
So here's, I just want to make one thing clear and tell me if I'm right. So what we're doing is we're identifying what's overlooked, and we're reminding them what they missed. We're not adding new work. We're saying based on what they've already agreed to cover under the policy provisions, that we're saying this is some things that were missed because we're a licensed contractor.
Yep.
We do this for a living. We don't write insurance policies, but we do repairs. Then we send it back to them, and that's what we call the supplement.
Yeah. Well, we call it an estimate because it's our estimate to do the work.
Fair.
They call it a supplement because we're supplementing
Their estimate. Okay,
right.
okay. Good one. That makes sense.
So when it comes to that, it's the way I like to think about how we present it to them is we're using the same exact software 95% of the time. So when it comes to that, when we're presenting it to them, they have the same exact item descriptions of what's included, what's not included. So when we add something, it's clear that it was not included. This is what it costs for a fair market value, like we're just explaining on what Xactimate is, for each item additional. We bold those, we put in line item description or notes to explain exactly, here's the code provision, here's why it's going to happen, or if it's not existing, here's why it needs to be existing, or all that stuff. And the way I like to think that is we're providing everything of why we're doing what we're doing, and as well as we're documenting it for the homeowner to get a coverage decision. So they don't have to wait back and forth of, oh, actually, we need this before we can tell you whether or not you have coverage for it. We just get it to them right away. They should have everything they need to make a decision. And if they're not making a decision, either they're being unreasonable, unfair, or they're just not approving it for whatever reason, that's where they have to then provide you with that policy provision.
That exact policy provision.
The specific one that is excluding or limiting coverage. Because if there's no coverage, sorry, but you're not getting reimbursed for it.
So if you're
Again,
buying-
that's where our estimate is our estimate, and now the insurance company's estimate is their estimate, and that's what I was talking about for the scope. If they don't have coverage for it, still has to be done.
Correct.
Just
So-
because you don't have coverage doesn't mean we can't just skip over it.
As a contractor, we have to do certain work no matter what, and we're saying, here's our estimate. They're saying, well, show me it's in the policy, and we're saying, we don't care. You know, like
Exactly.
because we're legally not allowed to look at your policy, so they tied our hands in that sense.
Yep.
And I just want to remind everybody that's listening, we're a contractor. We're licensed to do roofing, siding, windows, repair work, restoration. We just happen to be really smart, and we have Tanner that's really educated in this industry, and we can help facilitate that process.
Yep.
But again, some people get caught up in the thought of we're insurance people. No, we're not insurance restoration people. We're not storm chasers. We're just really smart at helping.
Yeah, we're 100% happy to help document everything, but when it comes to why it needs to be covered for your certain policy, anything like that, we actually can't. We could lose our license if we do it. So I like helping people, but I like my company more than losing my license, because we can help a lot more people with our license than we can.
And the
or
only-
if we don't have our
And
license.
you said something that really caught my eye or my ear, and I'll leave it at that. If we were there during the inception of the policy, and we were going through the policy, and we were picking the provisions, and we were deciding who to go with, then we might have a stake in that fight, and we might be able to help you. But we weren't there. We're after the fact, after the damage. We're not on the policy. We're not an owner. We're not a policy holder. We're just a contractor.
Yeah.
And we happen to do all this additional support, and we're thankful for the folks that appreciate us. And so the drone gives us accurate information when the insurance company overlooks or says it's not enough. I love hearing that one. Well, here, it looks like enough to me. How about we go ahead and get it covered and repaired, and then we'll use the code to do it right? Seems
Right.
like a fair fit. Well, thank you guys for hearing that point. I know we went into a bit of a tangent, but I think this was good stuff to talk about.
I know another thing that we're excited about coming up, even though last time the drones were the exciting topic, but now we have a new trailer coming,
Oof.
which is going to be used for just events of meeting clients, future clients, past clients, all that kind of stuff.
Now, really quick, when you say trailer, I didn't get the right visual. Let's explain to them what
So
we
a
mean.
trailer, it's the way I look at it, it's almost like a food truck, but for a contractor. Come up, see what you want. You can pick. Oh, I want to see stone. Here's some stone. You know, want to see some siding. Here's some siding.
So we got
You know,
that little window
yep.
that pops down where we can pop
We
out
also have some
like an ice
doors
cream
that you
man.
can walk in. The back of the thing that drops down. We can actually, which we're gonna do. We're trying to figure out a name for it, but we can climb up on top of the roof and have seats up there. So at the Saints games, we'll be like, "Hey everyone, sorry,
I'd
but
love
I
to
can
do that.
I have the rooftop seating. Right
We got to
here
get
and-
the Super Cider Hero on that thing.
Oh yeah.
That would be so cool to see kids to see them from far away and be like, you know, that'd be so awesome. You're
Yep.
out there doing a little dance.
Yep. So
Okay.
that's an exciting thing, but it's almost just like a nice little station to be able to come up, talk to us without, you know, it feeling like something that you're pressured to go and do. But we should have everything you need inside that trailer to
Make
basically
an educated decision if we're a good fit.
If we're a good fit for you, and then if you want to get more information on your specific house, that's where we can come out. We can even bring out like the Diamond Coat trailer, something like that, if you're interested in a Diamond Coat product or some stone, something
That's
like
the
that.
LP Smart Site engineered wood. We have it
Yep.
in a nice big trailer where you can actually see it installed. Wonderful, wonderful. thing.
Exactly. So those things is now we can bring it to your house if you're interested in what you saw, and now we can start moving forward with your project.
And gang, let me just say, a lot of people get really concerned if they're signing up that we're going to try to sell them something. I'm going to let you know, I help manage the sales team and I help educate them. And the biggest thing we talk about in the sales meetings is education and understanding. Understand what they need and educate them on something that will be a solution and a fit. And if it's a time to buy, they'll let us know. And what I've learned as well is if we treat them properly and they don't buy today, they still have been giving us wonderful reviews on
Yep.
the experience. And to me, the calls we've been getting from Google have been amazing.
Yep.
I mean, it's really been a turnaround in the past few months.
And you're the one who is in the house making sure that you're following that process, and I'm the one who is enforcing it.
It's fun. It is. It
Because-
feels good.
I want to make sure that everyone that, if I'm sending someone out to go and meet a supersider, I want to make sure that they're being taken care of. So if I hear at all, hey, Douglas was really pushy on this, you know,
I gotta
you're
deal
gonna
with you.
have something coming.
I gotta deal with you.
Exactly.
And he's a really nice guy, and he's got like this great smile. Promise you, you don't want to deal with him in an office when he's mad at you.
So that's where it's really not just a sales thing. We're not coming out there to try to sell you. We're trying to build a project for you.
And not to mention, we might discover damages from a storm that you were unaware of. Maybe there's money sitting on the table for your roofing, your siding, your windows that you didn't even know. If you're paying a premium, you have a home, I have a home, we pay premiums. We protect our home.
Yep.
If an event happens, typically we're not there to know about it.
Yep, and that's where we can do a weather report before we
That's
go
right.
out. We get a 3-year track of when storms came through. If it's something recent, we'll let you know. And hey, this happened on this event. When we're already coming out, do you want us to do a drone inspection? Do you want us to do a siding inspection? You know, those kind of things. While we're already there, might as well look at stuff if we find substantial damage, now you can make an educated decision of whether or not you want to move forward with a claim. If you just want to go ahead, who cares? Let's just start doing retail. Let's get this done. I want this dream project completed. Then you have all the information you should have to make that decision rather than one or the other.
I got on a roof in Otsego a couple years ago, and a guy who had a leaky skylight needed a repair. Really nice guy. Said, I think I need it replaced. It's kind of old. Been here 20 years. Okay, I looked at it, and I just came down, and best comment I ever said to him, if I could save you over $20,000, would you be interested? He's like, yeah. We ended up getting the roof covered because there was already sustainable damage. It was the house, the garage. Happy as could be, and I just felt so great that now he can take that money and invest it into something else, upgrade the home, go on a vacation. So again, I'm not looking to bleed an insurance company. Let me make that clear. If you work for Farmers, State Farm, Allstate, I love you guys. Because of you guys, we're able to work together and help these homeowners repair these damages. That being said, I would hate for somebody to pay policy coverage and not get what they paid for.
Yep. Yeah, if they're paying their premiums, again, we don't want someone to just file a claim to see if it sticks. This is where we're showing them substantial damage of where we think an entire roof will be approved, or at least a good amount of it, a large quantity of it. Otherwise, it doesn't really even make sense to bring in all that headache, lose your possible
No claim discount.
no claim discount, those kind of things. It just doesn't make sense. And it just really lengthens the time of the process that's going to be going on. And you wanted this dream project completed in 3 months. That's your timeline. It might be 3 months before we even get final or the initial paperwork finalized and everything from the insurance company with all of the scope approved, anything like that. And now we don't even have any of the repairs even
2 points you
began.
said that I have to touch on. The one, we all know about the boy who cried wolf. If you
Yes.
don't have a big claim now, don't just cry wolf, because then if a storm comes through and a tree lands on your house and twist up your foundation and your structure and your trusses, they're going to fight you because they're like, he just made a claim last year. The other one would be is timeline. The number one question I'm asked when I'm out there for an insurance restoration claim is they say, how long is this going to take? I always say this, depends on when we get the paperwork. It depends how expeditiously they're in expediting this claim. If they're on top of it, they get you paperwork within 72 hours, they respond on a regular basis. In a great world, we could do this in 3-4 months. But typically, we don't get a response till 3-4 months.
Right.
And so
we could get it done if we sign it up in retail, we could get it done in a week or two. If siding a little bit longer, but a roof, typically a week or two.
So
material comes a lot quicker, installs a lot quicker.
I have to touch on that too. Let's wrap that part up in the next 2 minutes, but this is the part I want to talk about. We came up with a process that said, if you have a set insurance claim, I have a house, my roof got hit, they came out, they said it's damaged, they sent me approval paperwork, it's a $20,000 repair. They gave me 12. They said that should be enough. 3 estimates, 18, 19, 21. So I know it's $20,000. There's no way it's not. I don't have the additional money. And I say to you as a contractor, well, what do I do? And you say to me, well, Douglas, I tell you what, if you want to sign up for the $20,000 repair as we gave you the estimate for, we'll do the work under a retail agreement separate from the insurance agreement. We'll go ahead and invoice you. You pay us. Now you've incurred cost. And since they already approved said roof, even though they didn't agree to that amount, you've incurred that cost for their approval. And what we've learned is that's favorable and can be successful, correct?
Yeah, and that's, again, something that you should talk to your agent about for coverage aspects. But the mass majority of policies that I've ever looked at, because I am a public adjuster and I do look at policies, just not for supersiders.
Right, let's be real, let's be legal.
When I look at that stuff, all of these would be solved with that solution right there. But that's where you have to talk to the agent, just get something from him. Yeah, if you get reimbursed, whatever you get charged to have the repairs completed. If he says that, what are we waiting for?
So if you have a time frame and you need to move, you have a new job, you need to get it done by graduation, we hear that a lot.
You're already selling the...
You're selling the house and it's sold, and you have 2 months to get out of there.
Yep.
let's go ahead and do the retail agreement. Let's get it done really quick, and let's get you paid and moved on to your new house. Sounds like a fit to me.
Right. Yeah, and there's so many aspects that we can keep going back.
Yeah,
and
sorry.
forth on.
I get down the rabbit hole.
I don't even know how we got back on.
I know, we were talking about the trailer. So,
But the trailer, one thing I really wanted to touch on is actually two things. One, county fairs are something that's going to be coming up. If you guys have any idea of what's good county fairs where, people are having a good time, uplifting, brings in a lot of people as well, let us know. We would love to entertain that because there's county fairs every single weekend basically. And we don't have time to go to every single one, but we would like to hear what our potential customers and past clients like going to, and then we can go and meet you guys out there.
hopefully we could get some feedback on maybe 3 or 4 different county
Yeah.
fairs that are successful, that have good energy, that have a lot of people. Not to poo-poo on any county fair, but if it's very small and doesn't have a lot of traffic, again, we want to be maximizing our time and our energy
Yep.
and make sure that we're out there to get business, of course.
Yep.
That's the whole reason we're doing it.
And then the second thing, this trailer would be something that we would bring to gatherings, like if we had a local cookout or something like that. Something that Jackson and I were talking about is a possible pickleball tournament. So that would be something where we would need X amount of people to sign up before we say, okay, we're going to do this. But this is basically an introduction of, hey, if you're interested in doing a pickleball tournament, St. Michael has a couple of courts, and I'm sure we could get some approval, and we're going to start trying to coordinate this, and it'd be nice to just get some of the local people around, get outside, start having some pickleball tournament fun.
I never told you this, but when I was in California in Palm Springs, I
Yeah.
met my buddy from the gym out there, and I was grinding on some pickleball. And he's premier. He's in leagues and stuff like that, and he's very fit, and he's from Brazil. And I actually beat him a couple times. So I'm just going to say, the big guy can get on some pickleball.
Yeah, so
I'm competitive.
Jackson and I were thinking 20 teams, so 40 people.
That'd be so
we
fun.
do the,
And have like a real bracket
Yep.
and everything. That'd
we
be
could
so
even
fun.
maybe do a singles tournament and a doubles tournament.
Jackie,
but-
if you're not on my team, you're going down. I'm just telling you.
So we'll try to figure that out. But I just want to kind of introduce that would be
How
something
fun.
where we would take out the trailer. If people have in between games,
Well, of
they want to
course.
come. We'll probably have some waters in there too, and
course.
come walk on up, talk to us. But for the main part of it, it's just go out there, have some fun with the local people in the community, and let's get some pickleball going.
Yeah, we want to give back, but there's no shame to explain to people that we're here to make business. We're in a for-profit enterprise. Once we can't make money, we have to shut the doors.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that we focus on as a company is we don't chase the dollar. I think that's very clear in our culture, in our structure. We realize that when we take care of folks, we do things right, and we follow our core values, the money will chase us.
Yep. So this is just another way of where it'd be a fun way to go and meet people, but we're also getting our name out there.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of selfishness right there, but it's mainly to just go out there, try to find new cool ways to connect with people, and also if we can get the community involved, that's one of the things that we're pretty strong beliefs in. For at least the St. Michael Albertville community, we like to donate to the local sports, all that stuff. So let's keep that going. Let's get people out there moving. I do have strong beliefs. If you do sports and stuff like that, it's just another way of staying out of trouble. If
It's-
you're doing
yeah.
sports, you're gonna be going down a more peaceful path.
I think it's even more mentally healthy than physically.
Yes.
And the biggest thing that I look at is anybody that knows Douglas knows I'm a bit of a weirdo. Let's just put that out there. But I care too much about certain things. And I love doing what we do. I'm super excited to be a super sider. I'm literally tattooing this on my chest. I want to be here for life. The part that I remember, though, is after we do roofs, we do siding, then what? Sometimes that's just not enough for me. And so being able to give back in the community and find ways like this, that's where I really feel validated and important, and I feel like we're doing something special. Now, don't get it wrong. We do the best roofing installs I've seen. We have the best products like Permalock. We do the best practices, and we constantly are innovating with the new technologies and the state-of-the-art practices and installations. Yep. But that being said, we still need to do more. And I love the fact that the company and the managers and everybody involved feels the same way.
Yep.
That to me is us as a family culture, what we're doing different. and I always say this to customers, there's over 15,000 contractors you can choose in our state. Like you said, they all flood up here for the money. I know right now in Texas, you're going to make about $200 less per 100 square foot of roofing than you'll make in Minnesota. So why wouldn't they come? So now we even have more people cluttering it up and mucking up the water, if you will.
Especially with the big storms that came through. I had a couple of people come up. Oh, it's a 5-star hail region. Don't know what that means.
Am I taking an Uber? What's going on here?
We don't chase storms or anything, but I had a couple of people say that when we're walking past at the Saints game because they're contractors themselves. 5-star hail region. Like, okay, don't know what that means, but
right.
I'm assuming that means that you're from somewhere else.
Yeah, you came up here, right.
Yep.
So, okay, good talk. I think the last thing we're going to talk about here to wrap this up is we're going to talk about a great new product. Talking about state-of-the-art products, we have an innovative stone. I can't begin to tell you how excited our entire team is about this. Take it over. Tell me what you know.
Evolve Stone. It's from Wausau, same people that we get provided Diamond Coat, stuff like that.
The Diamond Coat system, okay.
Yep. So they're coming out with their, they're supplying a new product called Evolve Stone. It's pretty crazy, actually. It's incredibly light for stone. And you install it with just finish nails, and it stays there. You put a collapsible water drain surface behind, then do the house wrap, and then you install the stone over that. And saves a bunch on install, which then that means you're saving money in the broad scheme of things, and you get to put that money towards something else that's important. The product, the thing that's going to be on the house at the end of it. The thing that you see every single day after the install. And that's where you want the money going towards, because that's the end product right there. You get to see a fantastic product that lasts a long time. Its fade warranties are at the top of the spectrum, not having to worry about, okay, I got a tan thing and then now it's beige and now it's bleached. And
so touch on, so this is what if I know anything about this stone, this is what I'll tell them. There's no mortar.
Yep.
It's installed fast. We watched a time-lapse video, and it was installed like 3 times faster than traditional stone.
Oh, there's
or
even
the
more.
stacked stone, right? Everybody now is doing this new stacked stone. Forsetta kind of innovated it, and now everybody's jumping on board and getting their own product. Yep. The challenge with that is the installation and it budding together. What we've learned from our installation crews is that this is cultured and made in a form, and if that form isn't right where they connect, we have to grind and cut, and now it's just not seamless like it should be. So this product, as you said, you can nail right through it, which seems absolutely insane. There's no mortar. It installs right next to each other, stacked with no real issues on the seams. And at the end of the day, it's light. Yep. That to me is the biggest one, because now we can install it on an entire facade wall and we don't have to feel like we're adding too much weight to the structure.
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. You can do it inside, everything like that, and all you have to do basically is just put up a sheet of OSB or something.
Hold on. We can do this on the inside?
Yep.
Whoa, I got a new accent wall I'm doing.
Then you don't need the collapsible surface because you don't need to worry about the water and rain.
I've been wanting to do an accent wall since I moved in, and I don't want to just paint it.
All you have to do is what I've seen done is you go ahead, put up the OSB, and there's going to be very, very small lines in between the product.
So maybe put some tar paper?
Tar paper, or just paint the OSB black.
Smart, because it's interior. It's not going to be water. Yeah, it doesn't need to worry about water. So I'm going to do that.
Do that.
And just nail the OSB to the studs?
OSB to the studs, or just to the drywall itself.
That'll be enough?
It kind of just depends on what you want to do. You can take off the drywall, put it back up, but...
No, I'll just go over it.
Exactly. That's what I saw done. They actually have a great YouTube channel, the Evolve Stone, and their Instagram has a lot of stuff.
So again, it's Evolve, E-V-O-L-V-E.
Yep.
Okay.
Evolve Stone. I think for Instagram purposes, it's evolve.stone.
Okay.
But they have a ton of stuff on there where you can just see how quick it is installed. So again, saving on install, where you have to pay a mason who is 6 times the cost for just install. Now you get to put it towards the actual product itself.
Well, once they're
using that is engineered, because what kind of stone are you going to find that is engineered that can be face nailed?
Well, let's be honest.
or trim nailed.
You're right. You're not. And the mortar is the problem. It's not the problem of the mortar. It's the installation. Who's doing it? What's the prep work?
Yeah.
How did it get done? So that's where we're cutting out that so you don't have that concern. And let's be fair. It's hot off the press.
And it's, in the mortar too, it's hard to determine where's this water going to be going. If it gets in there, freeze-thaw cycles with the Evolve Stone, you don't really need to worry about that.
You have to seal
even
more.
you have that collapsible surface, so even if water kind of stays in there a little bit, if it freezes, it's not going to really do anything to the product. It's just going to keep draining on. But if it doesn't, it's not like it's not going to crack it, and now you have all this stuff to worry about. It's just more of a climate product for Minnesota than other type of stones, veneers, stuff like that.
Last thing I'll say about it is I had a guy that was like, hey, I really like the look of the mortar, right? I like the look of the stone. I want it installed. And I just thought for a second, and I said, yeah, but do you want to keep sealing that mortar every 5 years? And he said, what? Well, yeah. It's a porous product. It has to be sealed, and it has to be maintained. Yeah. And what we're trying to do is give you a maintenance-free product that even looks as good, if not better, and probably a better cost.
Better warranty too.
So it's like, I just, again, back to solution specialist, innovative, being curious, all the things that our company does different. We love this product. We're super excited. I can't wait to put it on my house. Like I said, my accent wall.
There's nothing wrong with my brick on my house, and I'm very much contemplating just tearing it all down and putting this up.
That's fun. As contractors,
just,
right? We do that.
I know. Nothing wrong with it, but it's something that I kind of want to do just because it's a cool product. And I'm not a huge fan of brick. I'm a stone person, personally. So
I like it.
I think I might do it.
Let's do it. I want to see it.
Yeah, and then
we'll put pictures up on our social media to show you guys what it looks like.
Jackson will do some high-quality 4K photos for us. Jackson just posted something on our Instagram about it, too.
Okay.
He took some photos of it. It looks like it's floating in midair right in front of the Supersider.
Check that out.
It's a cool one. You get to see the product itself. It's not a very big piece. It's only like that big. And you can cut it down to size just with the table saw. And that's how you basically install it. Once you cut it down, you can even chip the edges, put a little WD-40 to make sure that everything is proper for the water displacement, everything like that, and then slide it into the exact spot where you want it.
Okay, so where you cut it, that's where you put the WD-40. Smart.
Yep, and I don't know the exact reason for it. It's
that's the R&D department.
They were trying to tell us that a little bit. It's more for just making sure the color is all the way through, all that stuff, as well as you can chip it and make sure it has more of a rigid edge, so it just looks like natural stone.
I always tell people I don't sign up for that class. I don't know why water's wet. I don't know why the sky's blue. I just keep doing my thing.
Good question.
So that was a great session. Was this number 6?
Yes, it was.
Well, let's conclude it. Supersiders Presents. Thank you guys for being involved, and we'll see you next week.